exist? Hello? Thanks, Phil.
You guys had a Phil appearance.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you for your service, Phil.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Everyone good? Can you guys see us? Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Yeah. Vanessa said
Hello.
Phil. Vanessa said Phil. That's an emote. Saved. They saved it. Send it. If you save that of Phil, send it in our Discord server. All right. I want to see it. Put it in general chat. I want to see that screenshot because we can't see it right now. You know.
Yeah.
No.
You have to show us.
You have
Let
to
me
show
tell you,
us.
some of the fun little photos that I would do, and then the screenshots that you would make of the photo are some of my favorite things.
That's an emote.
A couple of mine have become it because one of the things that I showed early on in the internship was I've got 2 dogs. I was like, here, let me show you my pets.
That's an emote.
2 of them are emotes. One of them has so in August we did a post on if your pet streamed, what would their username be? And the photo was of my dog Bear, who's 2 years old, a chaos gremlin, but he's very sweet and I love him. But one of the photos that I put into the Slack was of Bear looking a little bit like, what's going on here? Unsure. The next response was a very big zoom in on his face of just his response, and I'm like, this is my favorite meme.
Aw.
And I have it in multiple Discords.
Tell Phil to stop breaking stuff. We've been trying.
Yeah, that's telling him.
Yeah, remember earlier when we said we all have to bring Phil coffee, and if not, we got.
This is why you
That's
have
why.
to bring Phil coffee.
That's why he broke it because he didn't get his coffee.
His 15th cup of coffee
His
today.
15th cup of coffee. Also,
It's okay. The intern only takes over 10% of those coffees.
Also, for everyone you guys seeing Jazz mute, I see you guys. I can't even mute myself. I can't mute myself, guys. Look, where's the mute button?
We're using Wave DX. We can't. There's literally no way to do it on these.
Yeah, no way to mute myself.
You're safe for now.
I am safe, guys. No Jazz mute today. But, all right, we do have a lot more questions.
Yes. Let's do them.
So
Give us
let's
the
see.
questions.
Hit him with.
So, okay, well, this is going to be from Creech. We did answer this a little bit earlier. Is there any policy regarding relocation for the California intern positions if the students don't live nearby?
Yeah, so I answered that in chat as well. But for those of you who don't live near, there's also a couple different roles. It's not only California. So there's Milpitas, California, Duluth, Georgia, and Miami, Florida, and then 1 or 2 remote positions. But for those office positions, if you don't live nearby and you're willing to relocate, which you would need to be for those in-person positions, we don't provide financial relocation assistance, but we do help matching you with other interns who are moving for the program, or even other people who are looking for roommates and stuff. So we'll help you, find the right spot for you so that you can relocate for the position for the summer.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next question is from Vanessa. If the interns beat Jasmine in ping pong, what do they get?
You know that. Nobody else does. What do they get, Jasmine?
What do they get?
Did anyone beat you?
I won't say who.
I don't think I was ever challenged. I don't think that was an option on the table.
No, okay, Andrew did beat me in ping pong. He's got the winning lead in ping pong right now.
Someone clip that, send it to me. You need to forward that to Andrew.
But I have the
gonna-
winning
you're
lead
gonna
in
be like, hey.
Smash Ultimate, all right?
Yeah, you can cut the clip before she said that.
Yeah. I would challenge you in DDR. I'm not challenging Andrew in Smash. I know my limits.
All right. Next question is going to be from 20 Control. They're asking, in your experience, what sets the interns who get enthusiastic job offers after the fact apart from interns who don't?
That's a great question. Something like I was saying earlier that really stands out is just that willingness to learn. That's so important in an intern. I mean, if you come in being like, I know everything, I don't need to learn anything, I know everything, then that's not really a great fit for an internship. If you know everything, then maybe, apply to full-time positions and, go for that.
You also never truly know everything.
Yeah, and
There's
you also
always
never
something
truly
to
know
learn.
everything.
Always something to learn.
So it's not about knowing everything. It's about, taking what you already have and being willing to learn a lot more. Everyone's learning. I'm learning every single day. We're
Same.
all doing that. So that's really important. I think will really, set aside a candidate is that excitement and willingness to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And also reminder, and I mentioned this earlier and I'll say it again, what you do here and the energy you bring to the table matters after the fact. Because even though my internship ended in August, people remembered who I was and people were like, oh, I know someone who would be great for this thing. and reached out to me for things. So your impact, even after the internship, will continue, and that can lead to other opportunities. Always leave the door open. Yeah. Set yourself up for success.
I mean, even if you know, maybe you get to the interviewing stage, which we should also talk about a little bit, what the interviews look like.
Yes.
But, you know, even if you get to that stage and maybe, you know, you're not selected, it doesn't mean anything bad about you. It's just there's, you know, it's not only about finding, you know, the intern. Like, it's not only about us finding an intern, it's about us making sure that the person we pick is going to get the most out of this internship. Like, there are some people I could give the internship to that may not get anything out of it. You know, maybe this is just, you know, it's just not a good fit. So we're not only making sure we're going to find someone that's good for us, but we're also making sure that it's good for them as well.
Yep.
So, you know, don't take it personally. Maybe you make it to the video interview phase. Well, hey, you just met people from the team. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the interview process because it's pretty standard for the program. I mean, they may add like an extra interview if they need to, but just in general, this is the way it goes. So obviously, you know, you apply by January 31st. Applications are open now. Please apply. At that point, after January 31st, the hiring managers will go through all of the applications, and then they'll pick, I think about 10 for phone screening, and then HR will narrow that down any more if anyone doesn't match the qualifications for the internship. Let's say they found out someone's not based in the US, you know, they wouldn't be qualified, so they don't get the phone screening. And then from there, you get phone screened. It's just a general conversation, just to, you know, make sure that, you know, you're like, you know, someone that would fit in the internship. You can also ask questions about the internship there. And then from then you do one video interview with the hiring manager. It's just a one-on-one interview. They'll ask you questions, just like any interview. And then you'll also get the opportunity, like always, at the end to ask your questions about the internship. Make sure to always ask a question and make it meaningful. You know, surely there's questions in your mind. Don't be afraid to ask them. That's the time to do it.
Yep.
From there, it gets narrowed down a little bit more, and it's a team fit interview with the team. So, for example, last year we had Jasmine on the interviews and Brandon as well, who was our intern from 2022. So, yeah, we had a whole squad of previous interns interviewing. So then from there, that's when, you know, the final intern is selected. So the point being, you know, you're going to meet people throughout those interviews, and even if you don't end up getting it, now you're in their mind. You know, all the people that I spoke to, they were very qualified, they were incredible, and I still know who they are. And if I met them at an event, I would remember them. And if I had something that was a great fit for them in the future, and maybe I saw them post that they were looking for work, maybe that ends up being a thing. So don't close those doors. These are, you know, people that you'll work with in the future, you know, even if it's not with this internship.
Yep, completely agree. And, like, try not to feel too bad, like, if you don't get it. Because I know, you know, it definitely sucks if you don't get it, right? It doesn't mean anything, like Rita said. It doesn't mean anything that, you know, it's not, you're bad, you're the worst, nothing like that. It's just more of we have to take in consideration of, like, who will benefit the most from this internship, right? It's like a learning opportunity. And, for example, there may be times where it's someone who's amazing fit, like, but they know a lot and stuff, but they won't learn as much as the next person, right? So it's, like, really hard to kind of choose, and it's like, man, it's really difficult. It really is. But if you make it to, like, the interviews, just know you're doing great. Like, you know, it's just not you. It's not technically you.
And you also applied.
Yeah.
Which is still a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just applying in general is something that you should be, like, cheering for yourself for. Because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you apply, feel proud of the fact that you applied. Wherever you are in the process, be proud that you got there.
Yes, because it does take a lot to apply too, right? Like, you're putting a lot of work into it, a lot of effort, like a lot of thought process into it. And it's just, like, something that you should, you know, be proud of, because, you know, that's experience that you're learning, that you're going through, right? As you start applying to more jobs, you start to gain more experience. Like, maybe this is how I can improve. Take it as a way to, like, how can I improve myself? What could I have done better, right? And not as a, you know, negative experience, but take it more as a positive experience versus negative, is what I'll say.
Definitely. And if you are too scared to apply and you don't apply, then you already said no to yourself. You don't know where applying could take you. If you're very interested in the program, please apply. It, like, breaks my heart knowing that there's some people out there that are just, like, afraid. And I you know, what are you afraid of? Like, your application, will get looked at. I look at every single resume, every single cover letter, and it's you're gonna be seen. You're gonna get your chance, and even if it's not a fit this time, you never know when it will be or what it could lead to.
I applied in 2022 to the internship and did not get it. And when the internships came around last year, I applied last year and didn't get it. That's probably I just have to do it. Mm-hmm. And here I am.
Yep.
So do not let if you don't get it this year and you still have the opportunity to try again, do it. Don't let the rejections keep you down. Keep moving.
Yeah.
Always continue to find a way to hone what you're doing, show and put yourself out there in a way that's going to benefit you the most, and keep working for it.
Yep. Agreed. And then we have another question from 20's Control. Can you share how many applications you all tend to receive each cycle?
Ooh, this is a good question. I want to hear
this. I don't know if we can share that.
I don't know if we can share that either.
It is fairly competitive. I mean, there's a lot of interest in this program. I wouldn't let anything like that keep you from applying, though. Mm-hmm. I will say, as there's some people that tell me they're interested in the program and they never end up applying.
Yep.
Right. So don't discount yourself. I can't really share that number, but I will say it's fairly competitive. So don't beat yourself up.
Don't feel discouraged either.
There's a lot of students that would love to work at Coursera. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can speak for that because we did the same thing.
Yep. All three of us.
All right. And then next question is gonna be from Vanessa. What's one piece of advice you wish you knew when doing your internships?
You want to start, Jasmine?
I need to think about this one.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. All right. So
first.
One piece of advice you wish you knew. I wish I knew that being an intern wasn't only about I wish I knew how important an intern is. Right? I learned that from this internship. I didn't know that before. So when I was applying to other internships, I was like, oh, they're doing this for me. Like they're doing me a favor. Like I wanted to intern obviously at like Elgato. I wanted to intern at Pixar. I was exploring a lot of things, right? And when I, got declined the first year I was applying to internships, I was like, oh man, now I'm not gonna get this. I was very scared about that. I wish I knew that it's not about them doing me a favor. I did a lot for Elgato throughout my internship, and all the other interns did a lot for Coursera and Elgato. I think that really would have changed the way I wrote my cover letter and my resume the first year I applied, because I definitely made those changes the second year, because I actually also applied to the one that you got, actually. So there's my competition. No, kidding.
It's okay. It's okay. Brandon is mine. Man,
But you're cooler than me, so.
No, you're cool. You're way cooler.
Both of you are amazingly cool.
The point is, if I had known that back then, I would have been a lot less hard on myself. And I'm happy that I took a different direction than what I was originally taking that first year. Where it was like, this intern's a favor for me. Mm-hmm. They have to give, they're going to give it to me, and I hope I deserve it. I hope they deserve me. That changed a lot the second year. So, be proud of yourself, and your experience is very valuable as an intern.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. I don't know do you got one yet?
No.
Oh God.
I can't think of one.
Okay. Give yourself that, in the same vein of that, I think, give yourself the grace of, you are still learning. You are there because they want you there. Give yourself the grace of, you are with this team because they want you to be a part of it. They want you to learn, but they also want you to feel like you belong in the team. You are not the intern that does the coffee breaks. No, you are part of it. I was part of so many meetings of things that happened way past the internship because I was treated as a member of the team. Be cognizant of that, and because for me sometimes it gets a little bit I struggled a little bit with that, of feeling like I belong in places, and give yourself that space to feel like you belong in that space, because you deserve that moment, and I think everyone deserves that kind of moment. And then give yourself time to breathe, especially because you're going to be working a lot. It's a crazy 12 weeks, and you're doing so much stuff and you're learning so much, but give yourself that time. I think is the best. And then take care of yourself. Drink water. Drink water. Have tea. Vibe.
Yeah. There were some times where you're like, I want to do this, and I'm like,
slow down.
Let's take these and let's think about what you can realistically do in the next week without overloading.
And then
yourself.
I would say, I can do that. You're like, absolutely not. Please no. And I went, okay.
Or let's take that wonderful idea and let's give it to Brandon or Mario. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah, know your limits. And also know when you are like, okay, you're going to work yourself too hard. Take a second. So.
And don't be afraid to communicate that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you a weaker worker. It's strong to know, what your limits are and being able to communicate that.
I agree. And then for me, I guess something kind of think about is like, I wish I didn't really beat myself up too much over like the presentation, because like we did like a like we were mentioning like a presentation to the CEO of Corsair, like all the executives and stuff, right, as like our final project of the internship, right? And for me, I can have like stage fright. Like I don't do well speaking in front of a lot of people, right? So like public speaking is really hard. The stream is different. Stream is completely different.
You're like cutting us off.
It's kind of hilarious in the sense, before you said that stream was different, I'm like, this is kind of hilarious considering what we're doing right now.
Yeah, see, it's because I can't see you guys, right? Like, I am chilling. There's only 3 people in here besides myself, right? I'm comfortable with them all. It's just like, I don't see you guys. Out of mind, out of sight. I'm not scared.
She's not thinking about you.
I'm not thinking about. I don't feel or see those eyes staring at me, right? Like the attention is not all on me that I can feel, right? Because you can tell, like you can feel it when people like looking at you, right?
Oh, I do theater.
You, right?
I feel it constantly.
Yeah, and like for me, I'm usually like I do not do well at public speaking, right? And so like. During the presentation, I was the only one that dropped the pointer, like the remote, right, pointer. And I was just like, because I noticed that my hand was shaking as I was trying to use the pointer to like present.
No,
and it was like, it was literally like, I was like, why is it shaking? I look at my hand's like, and I'm just like, oh no. But like, I played it cool, guys. I played it really cool, right? I was like, I'm not going to use this anymore. But then I dropped it. I dropped it, and I was like,
no.
Let me just pick this up. I will not panic. I will not do anything else. I'm just gonna go with the show, So it went well, but I will still never, I'm always reliving that moment, and I'm just like,
oh no,
oh my god. But I've learned that it's okay because like overall I did great because like I didn't panic. Like internally I was screaming like, oh my god. Internally, guys, I was yelling at the top of my lungs. But
use your imagination.
Use your imagination. Yeah, just So yeah, but I've learned that I did great. So I try not to beat myself up about that situation anymore. But pretty much like, if you make a mistake, it's okay. You're an intern. And even if you're a full-time employee, it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from it. Take it as a learning experience of what I wanted to say and like the advice to myself, and to everyone else, right? Don't worry, don't stress. Everyone makes mistakes, and as long as you learn from it and you grow from it, you're good.
That's great. That's so good. Yeah. Everyone should really walk away with that. I don't care if you're applying for an internship or not. Walk away with that. You're gonna make mistakes. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. I'll probably make a mistake within the next 24 hours, and so will all of us. So it happens. And really, it says way more about your character, what you do about that mistake, than making the mistake in the first place.
And then also give yourself that grace of don't beat yourself up about it.
Yep.
Because it's going to if it's going to happen, let it happen, learn, move on, and continue to strive for better. All you can do is your best.
Yep, I agree.
Truly.
I have to say, though, I feel like I have learned a lot. I'm, not as scared to present in front of people anymore because I did that off-Kai Expo panel.
I was about to say,
that
how did
panel.
off-Kai handle that? Because you did the rehearsal with us, and I thought you guys did great.
Thank you.
Personally.
Chris was there too to help.
Oh, yeah. Chris behind our camera. And
So.
you guys you guys had a good presentation for the rehearsal stuff too, and watching some of the stuff, it was really good.
I'm glad.
So I'm like, I think you've done. I have nothing to say in that race. I do too much musical theater. I literally have a callback tomorrow. I'm just like. The being in front of people is not a huge concern for me anymore.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. And then I think we're going to end it with one last question here. and it's gonna be from, was it 20 Control? Let me go ahead and just add this up. What's been the most helpful mistake you've ever made? The one you either learned from the most, or the one which affected your development in another interesting way? So I already said my piece.
Wait, is that the most helpful mistake you've made?
Is it? I'll probably think more about it. I'll think more about it, but gonna pass on to you guys.
You first. I'm still thinking.
Okay, that's okay.
Sorry, Brito.
I can think on my feet.
Good.
I'll say specifically for the internship. Obviously, we're writing a lot of copy. There's like a lot of brand guidelines to follow, brand voice that has to be on point. Probably one of the first times that I wrote a product name wrong, and I got a little tiny correction, nothing bad, little correction in Slack is just like, it was probably just like, this needs to be capital, right? Or like, this needs a space. Something, I don't remember specifically which one it was, but something very simple like that. Just the nicest little correction message, just like, just so you know, it's like that. I was like, this is it. Like, they're not going to want me as an intern anymore. Like, my next meeting, I'm fired. Like, this is the worst thing ever. That was a really helpful mistake because as really big as it felt in that moment, it's happened again. Like, I've been very careful, but sometimes it goes, things happen, right? Or maybe even things I didn't know about yet. So it's just, that was a really helpful mistake to make during my internship. And I think everybody in social makes that at some point. Just literally the tiniest little typing error you can learn like a lot from, because you realize, maybe it's not as big of a deal as it feels. And next time, boy, did I look, boy, did I check, and it just made me better, right? So it was a helpful mistake because I learned that like feedback is not to bring me down. It's not because they think I'm not competent. It's not because they think, I'm a failure. It's because, hey, they just noticed it and they want me to improve and they want me to know in the future, do it this way. And then I did. So, yeah.
And I remember mine. Actually, I remember during my internship, I made like, it wasn't technically a mistake. Okay, in a way it was, but pretty much I was using, I'm not sure if you guys know what Sublime is, right? So Sublime is kind of like a little coding, like, what would you call it? Do you guys know what Sublime is?
I have no idea what
like
you're
a
talking
text
about.
management.
Kind of text management, like editor, Sublime.
Sublime?
Yeah, Sublime.
Not Sublime?
Oh, is it Sublime? Okay, Sublime. It's got Sublime.
I have no idea what either of you were talking about.
This was a helpful mistake because next time you'll say Sublime.
Yeah, Sublime.
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 I have no idea what's happening.
Sublime. Okay, we're gonna call it Sublime from now on. Anyways,
That's what it's called. If that's your software, I'm sorry. It's called Sublime now.
No, okay, so I use Sublime, right? And I was like, because that's what I love using. Because I used to code, like that was like my major at the time in college. And what?
Brett, any Sublime?
Any Sublime?
Oh, I miss you guys so much.
Oh my god. Anyways, so I would use that to kind of like write all my notes and like ideas and stuff and everything on there, right? Like that is literally what I use and to track everything. And basically one day it like crashed on me and it reset everything. So I lost every single notes I had on there for like a project that I was doing, and I was devastated. I was the most devastated ever, and I was stressing because I was like, oh my god, where is all my notes that I worked like hours on? And so after that day, I learned to always save, back up your files, save everything, make sure everything is saved constantly. Probably don't use Sublime. Use Google Doc. I use Google Doc. But that was like my learning experience of I am never gonna do this again because all that hard work just went down the drain, and it was very sad.
Sublime punching airs in the chat right now.
Yeah, it was just, oh my god. But yeah, it was a learning experience for me, that was for sure. And I was like, wow. Also, like, another advice is like time management. Like, I believe they mentioned it earlier, pretty much like making sure to break up your tasks into smaller tasks and like more, like prioritizing the ones that are more urgent, and talk to your managers about which one they want you to prioritize on. That way you know what to focus on and to get that delivered on time. And that if you're like overwhelmed or something, talk to your manager about it. Like, let them know, hey, I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this on time. Like I had time and stuff. But and they'll definitely be more than willing to try to help you to get that on track. Maybe they can help you themselves, or they see if someone else is free to take over that depending on the priority of it. So definitely like definitely time management also helped a lot. So learning that definitely helped.
I had that entire time to think about like a moment for this, and I am struggling.
That's fine.
I will say though, because I'm looking at one of the chat members about like the feedback is good and delivery of said feedback is also important.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I learned in my BFA program. Oh, I'm sorry. I try to go away from the microphone because I'm a loud person.
It's okay. We've adjusted for that in gain.
That's true. I don't want to have y'all do that much work. I just lost my train of thought as Chris slowly opens the gate for me. It's like, cool, great, slow. There was a period in college, because I have a dance background. I have a bachelor's degree in dance from Rutgers University, which is was a conservatory program in a public university. So that meant I was basically at more like dance and like studio level stuff most of the time, and then did like a couple normal people classes throughout the period. It was an interesting period, but one of the things I really learned a lot about was just the way of giving good feedback. Because you'd be surprised how beneficial understanding how to give feedback helps somebody improve, just in general, of how you deliver any sort of like notes or anything. We had, I highly recommend, I don't remember the full name, but it's Liz Lerman, who is a choreographer and educator, has a book on ways of doing feedback, and I believe it's also for like art critique and all that kind of stuff, of the principles of it and the observing this, giving it in a, all right, I see this, why don't we try this while you do this thing? Why don't we do this again with this choice and see how that looks? To give not just the encouragement, but also the more permission to experiment with it, and give yourself that ability to continue to, or to give that person the encouragement to continue going. Because we've all been there. We've all had that feedback from people that make you just go, why? It makes you just feel bad. And I personally have found that like how you give feedback is always the big game changer there. Mm-hmm. That's always stuck with me. And I feel like I continue to reach for that piece of advice more now than I did in college, which is wild.
Oh, let's go.
Recommending a book really makes it feel like we're on a podcast right now.
It does.
Oh my god, we've made it. We've made it a podcast.
That's definitely one of the checkpoints to make a podcast.
There you go. Yeah, with that being said, I think that is pretty much it for this stream. I think we went over a lot of information, a lot of great information. We had amazing questions. So thank you guys all so much for joining us, for stopping here. If you guys have any other questions, make sure to check us out on our socials. We do have
Array. Also, yes, the critical response theory is the name of that feedback thing. So thank you, whoever just put it in chat.
Hi, Rogue. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. We're actually just about to end, so you guys are catching
Let's
the end
bring
of
the party. Go somewhere.
Yeah, we'll go somewhere, though. But with that being said, if you guys have any other further questions, feel free to contact us via, our preferred socials. So Chris has got this. He's gonna go ahead and link you guys the Jasmine command, the Vito command, the Lex command. So once again, I am Jasmine. I'm the senior community specialist over at Elgato. If you guys have any questions about the internship program or my experience as an intern, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or Discord. Just a note for all of us: if you do reach out, make sure you send us a DM of who you are, and like your question, just like a little, so we know you're not a bot, right?
And that you've watched this.
Well, they don't have to watch this. It's just more of don't just say hi. We need
please don't say hi.
Yeah, we need some context as to who you are, why you're contacting us, right? Because I honestly ignore every message I get that just says hi, unless you're a friend of mine or I know you.
Also, one thing to note: you still need to apply through the proper channels. Don't send the stuff through Twitter.
Yes.
Oh yeah, don't apply through us.
Yeah, don't apply to us. Like apply to the internship program that's linked right there, and apply to there. And then if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. But we can't submit your form for you.
Yeah. And for anyone coming in from the raid, if you're an actively enrolled college student and you will be enrolled in an accredited university for at least the end of this year, then you should apply to our internship program, the Coursera and Elgato internship. You can rewatch this VOD and see all the answers that we just gave about the program. But yeah, definitely click those links and apply if you're interested and a student. Don't disqualify yourself. Definitely apply.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about where they can find you? And where they reach out to you?
Yeah, and with the command for ! Burrito, you can please, I'm the hiring manager for the social media internship for Elgato this year, and also last year, Lex was my intern. So please, if you have questions, if you're unsure about something, if you want to know about the process, I am an open book. I am very dedicated to student success. I have many people I speak to that are students that ask me questions about the industry. It could be the most basic question that maybe you just can't find an answer for. I am here for you. I want to help you. I want to make it easier for you. So please ask me the questions about the internship. Ask me questions generally about internships, about Elgato, and I will answer what I can. I cannot, however, get you partnered. So don't message me about that. I'm on the social and community team. I'm not giving out any partnerships, okay?
Same.
Yeah, and same.
And nope. And my name is Lex. I was last year's Elgato social intern. I am currently part of the Coursera technical support team, and you can ask me questions either through Twitter or through LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, also LinkedIn for me too. Twitter and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yep, that is the thing.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, everyone. We're going to go ahead and find someone to raid. But if you guys haven't already, join our Discord, follow us on our socials, and we'll see you guys next stream.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Bye-bye.
Go apply. Do it.
You got end of this month.
Yeah.